Could a single agreement between the United States and Iran trigger the next major rally in global markets? Investors on Wall Street are watching. Oil traders are watching. Bitcoin traders are watching. And governments around the world are watching too. Because what happens between Washington and Tehran today could potentially affect everything from gas prices and inflation to stocks, gold, and cryptocurrencies. If negotiations succeed, markets may celebrate. If they fail, volatility could return overnight. So what exactly is at stake? And why could this agreement matter far beyond the Middle East? Let's find out. At first glance, a diplomatic agreement between the United States and Iran may seem like a regional issue, but in reality, its impact could potentially reach every corner of the global economy. For decades, tensions between Washington and Tehran have influenced international politics, energy markets, and investor confidence. Whenever tensions rise, markets often react immediately. Because Iran sits in one of the most strategically important regions on Earth. The Middle East remains a major supplier of global energy, like crude oil. And Iran is located near the Strait of Hormuz, one of the world's most critical shipping routes. Every day, a significant portion of the world's oil passes through this narrow waterway. If tensions threaten this route, oil prices could rise dramatically. Higher oil prices may increase transportation costs, production expenses, and inflation around the world. That is why investors, governments, and major corporations are paying close attention to the possibility of a new agreement. Even the prospect of greater stability could potentially improve market confidence. While the final details remain uncertain, analysts believe a potential agreement may focus on several key areas. Iran could agree to additional restrictions, transparency measures, or monitoring related to its nuclear activities. In exchange, the United States may potentially provide some level of sanctions relief. The agreement might also create opportunities for increased trade and economic cooperation. If sanctions are eased, Iran could potentially expand its oil exports and improve access to global markets. More Iranian oil entering the global supply chain may help stabilize energy markets. However, investors are unlikely to focus only on the announcement itself. They will likely watch whether both countries continue honoring their commitments in the weeks and months ahead. A deal on paper may generate headlines, but successful implementation is what could ultimately influence market sentiment. One of the first markets likely to react would be oil. If investors believe Iranian oil exports could increase significantly, expectations for global supply may improve. More supply often creates downward pressure on prices. Lower oil prices might benefit consumers and businesses around the world. Could stock markets rally if this agreement succeeds? If geopolitical tensions ease, investor confidence may improve. That could encourage investors to move capital back into risk assets. But geopolitics is only one piece of the puzzle. Interest rates, inflation, economic growth, employment data, and corporate earnings may continue to shape market performance. Another important question involves inflation. If oil prices move lower, inflationary pressures could potentially ease as well. Investors may also speculate about future Federal Reserve decisions. Gold has long been considered a safe haven asset. During periods of uncertainty, investors often turn to gold. If tensions decrease, some investors could potentially move money back into stocks. The cryptocurrency market may also react strongly. If confidence improves, investors could potentially become more willing to take risks. A successful agreement could potentially support stronger Bitcoin demand and improved market sentiment. Because what happens between the United States and Iran today could potentially influence the next major move in global markets, and the world is waiting to see what comes next. Thanks for watching Finance Street 24. Please like, subscribe, and stay informed.